Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Ascension WoW's Classic Plus. Now, leaving off from where we were last time, yesterday, when the server decided to go down and has completely pushed us all the way back to this point, we have to make our way back to the mines and stuff like that. I apologize that the video ended 10 minutes earlier than I expected it to. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about this. And since it's still in a quote unquote alpha state or beta state, or whichever you want to prefer for your Classic Plus stuff, um, these things happen. Beyond my control. Believe me. uh, and not to say that even if the full one comes out, this stuff won't happen, because it does happen on the live servers from time to time. And I'm not really sure what caused this one to happen, but regardless, we're back again. We're back at it, and we're getting into it again. And we're going to dispatch of who we need to dispatch of, and get as much of the quest done as fast as possible, as quickly as possible, and as humanly as possible. Um, I think if the day serves me right, this one will be on Wednesday. So, we're definitely going to be doing all we can, and we're heading right back to the mines, clearing this whole thing out again. And uh, after this, we'll go over and dispatch of the Murlocs, and if we do end up making it over there, we'll definitely be dispatching of the Naga. They're over by the Dwarven area. We would have to avoid South Shore like it's the plague, because the guards will likely kick my ass if I get too close. But as it looks, we might get enough tin to carry us over into the iron stuff proper. Because look at all this tin that's inside here. I might actually end up having to go over and farm copper on the off screen. On the off. We'll have to see. But there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff in here to grab in terms of my professions. Unfortunately, though, or I should say, fortunately, I am of the level 27 now, which means I've actually out leveled. Well, not out leveled, but I am on the level here of this place. Unlike the first time I did this, when I had to take out the miner Hackett, and she was level 30, and I was level 24. But with the help of a friend that I ran, well, not even a friend, but they were friendly enough. We was able to clear the place out pretty easy. I don't expect the same to happen in this one. We're definitely gonna have to go this alone. But regardless, we'll get through it, and we'll manage. The only thing that I really have to worry about is these miners and foremen and stuff like that when they run away for help. At 32%, they're gonna definitely make things complicated. And we got ourselves a pair of braziers, which is better than what I have right now. Barely better, but better. Well, armor-wise, yeah. Stats-wise, a little bit. Alright, buddy. You're not gonna run away from me. You made it personal. And you gave me a cloak that I will likely not use ever for anything. Not even transmog. But I will collect it because I like collecting things. I like collecting things. And this guy decided to make it a problem. And he brought a friend over, which was way too freaking far away. And it looks like there is a little bit of lag input going on here. So that's probably why the server went down in last video, was the lag input was getting a bit too rough. Hopefully in this episode we won't have that issue. But obviously, sometimes you can't expect betas to be, or alphas in that matter, especially to be stable. But you would assume Ascension would be on top of things, but well, when you're testing new things out, it can definitely become a little bit of a hassle or a headache in in parts. Not all parts, but in parts. Really want to get that, or you had to make it a problem. Alright. Go ahead and get this without pulling the minor Hackett. I think the foreman, yeah, he's right there. So we'll hack his entourage here and isolate him. He's gonna get his buddy, and I don't want him to get his buddy. I want him to get over here. Alright. Carefully and surgically. Clean out the room so that if I pull him, he's not going to grab anybody and everybody else. He's not going to grab him and his brother and father and everybody else. Say a warrior item. Yep. Alright, let's go and pull him. Ooh, Hammer of Justice, huh? I got one too, buddy, but I'm not going to use it just yet. I'll use it when you decide that you think it can run away from me. And he brought some friends. Not ideal. Oh, that's cool. They can do that. They can do that. I won't let you do it again. Shield bash interrupt. Definitely not gonna let you pummel me again. Kinda need my mana back. How much tin did I get so far? 18. That ain't too bad. That's not so bad. I think I'll come up here and grab that tin of that up there and head out. Before everybody starts respawning back all at once. I like to have at least a bit of a smooth sail out of the mines. I see something back there, another 10. There's 10 right here in front, and there's 10 in the back there. Honestly, I should probably try and grab both, but if I don't need it, I don't need it. There is a chest up that way, though, so I might be able to sneak up by there and grab it. Let's use Exorcism to get rid of you. Alright, we got Robust, Boots of the Monkey. Okay. Let's pop down that. Since he didn't get very far, he figured, well, I can't grab anybody else, so I might as well try to handle it myself. Grab that tin and get the hell out. Before everybody starts respawning in and respawning. Right, let's go ahead and demog for this and head out. It looks like things are starting to respawn now. So, a little time. Quit running away, buddy. I make the fights, not you. Let's keep you in the middle of this. Concentration. Get the full benefit of the damage. Attack you. And you're not gonna run away. You're gonna sit here and fight me like a man. Or with a mismantle. Okay. Offhand. Not really ideal. Not really enticing, but fair enough. You're not gonna get far. Alright, let's go ahead and mount up. I'm running out of room. My bags. Not really ideal. Maybe I could free up at least a bit of space by doing this. We'll go ahead and make a couple bandages. Silk bandages. Clean out some room in the bag. What the... Oh, I can smoke gold now. That's cool. I haven't ran into gold yet, but I'll definitely be able to do something about it. I think it's 200 in first aid. No, 800. 180. My bad. We'll go ahead and move those there out of the way. Didn't clear up a whole lot of bag space, but it cleaned up quite a little bit of bag space. Regardless, we'll work it out. Murlocs, gonna be a pain, but they should. I think this level they drop clams that will drop the pearls that I want. At least they should. So we'll get rid of these fish scales. Inventory is full, which means it's gonna drop something else. Nope. Nope. Well, let's see. Fish oil. I feel like, personally speaking, I think you would have thought Ascension would have a companion. If it can auto loop for you, that they would have something that's going to be a vendor. But that's just my personal opinion and critique. I love it when the Hammer of Justice misses and he just goes out and does whatever he wants because I can't stop him. And he's gonna pull all of his friends and his buddies and everything else in between. His cousins, his brothers, his sisters. Who knows what he'll bring to the table? That's a pretty good shield. Huh. Shoulders are shabby at best, but... let's see. I do want to grab a hold of that shield. Yeah. Get rid of that. Open this. Tangy clam meat. I'll take the healing pot. For sure. For sure. I'll take that healing pot. I am gonna chill out down here and fight these Murlocs for a bit going up the way. They, just for the clams. I think what I'll do is I'll save a spot for a clam and just gather them as I'm going up through here, just to sort it out. I think they stack up to 20 before it starts a new stack. Glyph of Hex, can't really use it because that's a shaman item. And it's level 60, which I don't think they can do 60 yet. I don't think 60's available yet. Yeah, thick-shelled clams. I think I would just hold on to these. I'll collect them as I'm going up through here. And then I'll loot box open them at the end. Alright, before I throw myself into that, I'm gonna get my mana and health back up before I walk in there and get decimated. Because the aggro range of a Murloc is bigger than I think it needs to be. Personally speaking. just equally distribute damage. I'm gonna pull that guy. Pretty obvious. Stun you. Don't need you running away too far away from me. None of you will get far. Alright. Come over here. I want to take the Coast Runners at melee because they have spears they can throw, and I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life. Who knows, there might actually be an item of interest, in quotes, here, in these, little Murloc huts. They might have an item of interest, in quotes. And I don't even know if these, Torn Fins drop any unique items, too. I would assume they do, much like everything else, but don't know. Find out. I would assume it would be a staff, a dagger, and probably that's it. I can't imagine they drop anything extremely overpowered. But I've been impressed before. I have been impressed before. Grab you. There's a chest there that we'll definitely look into and see what's in there. What we got here? Okay. I'll definitely take that recipe. Is there anything I can part with? Yeah, probably these bandages. I can't really use the bandages yet. So, might as well, right? Alright, durable rod. I don't think that's gonna be useful at all. I think it will set its stats when I collect it, but I don't think I can use it at the present moment. Another chest there. Definitely take a look in that chest too. Maybe there's gonna be another recipe for recipe in there. Stronger consecration. Use taunt on that because taunt does damage every once in a while, and I kind of hope that it does do damage. Rain, collar, cloak of the sentinel. Not a bad item. There's a chest up there. There's a lot of chests. Not a lot of people come through here. I can definitely tell. Can tell that nobody comes up through here. I do like that cloak. Though, not being able to use the plague item does kind of suck. But it's inevitable that I'm gonna need to replace it. Unfortunately, that's sort of the problem sometimes. I will definitely collect this and use this though. Let's see, what am I? Probably the heart ring. Intellect, haste, and spell power. Despite being a retribution paladin, I'm still using spell power to unleash judgments and crusader strikes, I think. Also. Probably not, because it's more like a grudge strike. It's like a physical attack. But I think when I use it, it's spell, but I don't think it does spell. Let's use Rod Hide on this. This guy. For a level 30 elite rare, does do a bit of damage on me. Does a bit of work on me. Thankfully, lay on hands here is different from Season of Discovery. Holy crap. Season of Discovery, it takes all the mana that you have in reserve and just doubles you over. Just poof, bent over, everything else. Sweet knife. When did I collect that? I mean, glad to have it, but I can't use it. Alright, let's get rid of this Coast Runner. If I grab that Muck Dweller, which most certainly will, because sometimes I think the AI for their pathing and stuff is smarter than I think it is, because sometimes they'll just turn in a certain degree and just walk towards you. And just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go this way for once. Like, no big deal. Full-handed dagger. That's the way to describe an item. Alright, Muck Dweller, I need to go this way. And I need this Coast Runner to follow. And not be in the middle of that Murloc camp where it's gonna take a bit of muckery to get it. There's 2 green items I dropped off that guy. Then I'm gonna have to go back over and debate. I think getting rid of this is probably inevitable because it doesn't sell for a whole lot. Really, any items I'm willing to part with if it's cheap enough. See, we got them Black Metal Greatsword, which looks really cool. And a Muck Dweller's Tide Blade again, which is just a bland dagger. Black Metal Greatsword. You know, that's best describe it, but faithfully would have to decline that. Alright, what's in here? Mana Pot, Light Bow, Silk Cloth, which I can't get. Okay. Also, another purpose of these videos definitely is that all these unique items in the Classic Plus, if you guys decide to buy into it and stuff like that, and actually want to try it out for yourself, you'll know what items drop from which mobs, which could give you an idea of if you play a certain class or whatever. You'll know what will drop what. So it definitely, and also what items that are going to drop, you'll already have a precursor as to, hey, I know what's going to drop here. It's going to be this item, and it's going to have this stats on it, and it's going to have that stats on it, and everything else in between. So it definitely will indeed give you information and assistance on what you should prioritize while leveling and whatnot. Unless you just like being like everybody else and sit in a dungeon queue all day and not really worry about it. Which I think is a bit of a... Well, I'll be honest. I would not be sad if they got rid of that feature. The looking for group tool. Because if you're going to put in a bunch of work to put in a bunch of stuff in the overworld, increased quest drop items and stuff like that, and the items that are drop off of mobs are pretty unique and cool and stuff like that, I would try to push people away from the dungeons and actually push them into the world by guiding them and saying that there's no worthwhile in going to the dungeons when you can find better items out in the world. But that's how I would do it and handle it. It would probably cause a lot of issues. I'll be honest. Probably. But that's how I would do it. Just my personal take. But we hit level 28. We have finally the Judgment of Justice, which is one of the best judgments to fight freaking humanoids with because of its feature. It prevents an enemy from fleeing and limiting their movement speed at the same time, so it slows them down and prevents them from fleeing. Which means those humanoids that run away at 32% ain't gonna run away at 32%. They're not gonna run away at all. Which will make this so much easier. So much easier. And so much better. I don't need these swiftness potions. And those are the same items. Alright, let's see. Blue pearl. I don't want blue pearl. Can't use blue pearls. Let's see. Not very handy. Another blue pearl, not what I want. I don't want clam meat, I don't want that. Small illustrious pearl. I don't want that either. Now I'm pretty sure these Naga will have clams dropping, so we'll keep an eye out and a bag space open for it. And I am curious to see what they drop too. Ooh, Tempest Caller's staff. That's actually a pretty good staff. Yeah, mana per second, haste, spell power increased. Oh yeah. There's some items. Of course, these sirens are going to definitely be dropping. Spell items. That's a given. Oh damn! So glad I can use lay on hands and not have to worry about it. But I put justice on that guy. To chase people. I don't want to chase people down. Alright, let's see here. We got a throwing item. That's really strong for a throwing item. That's a throwing item? Holy crap. So if you're a rogue, this is an item just for you. For sure. Let's see. Get rid of something here. Let's get rid of these linen cloth. I'm not going to use these linen cloth anymore. Can't use them anymore anyway. So we have these Shore Hunter's Hurl. So rogues and warriors. And I think that's it. Rogues and warriors, I think, are the only ones that can benefit from throwing. You have an item over here. And it takes the appearance of the thick bronze darts that you can craft in blacksmithing. So, I'd say it's one of the better items to use for a throwing item. All things considered. Yeah, definitely. See, we got Mind Flake Glyph here. And we have an Eye of the Storm Glyph here. And we have a ring that I am definitely going to hold. Let's go ahead and grab this copper while I'm up here. I need more anyway. Compensate for the extra tin that I just got. Yeah, so we have a mage staff and a throwing item so far. Let's see if anything else tends to drop off these guys. We'll definitely find out. But I think that's it. Going to be it for this episode, I think. Got everything we needed. We didn't get any of the pearls that I wanted, unfortunately, but I'll keep an eye out for it, regardless. I don't know if I want to be doing it off screen because everything seems to scale, so I can't really go back to lower level areas to get no experience. Unfortunately, I'm going to be getting it regardless. But with that in mind, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave a like, comment on the video about what you want to see or just general comments. Do subscribe to the channel. Trying to get to 150 by the end of summer or at the end of the year, whichever we get there. That's pretty much the goal right now. And until next time, guys, peace out.